Beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And today we are going to talk about Ready to Love Reunion Part 2. But before I do that, you guys, let me just say that I've watched a couple of interviews and I've seen a couple of lives, and let me give my opinion on that. Zadia, crazy like Camille, and that is why they get along so well. You can't tell me anything different. So I watched a YouTube channel. It wasn't her channel. I'm not sure whose channel it was, but they posted a live she did, and she was basically saying that she's not a bad person, yada yada. The only thing I do remember her doing over and over again is saying how she gave to a charity for Sabrina. And people in the live was like, girl, if you gave to a charity, why do you keep saying it? Like, okay, we get it. But that was her biggest thing, was that if I didn't like Sabrina, I would have never given to the charity. I am not a bad person. She just batshit crazy too. And we are going to find out on this reunion. The other thing, Wig. I saw her do an interview with Little Black Book. And when I tell you, I was so irritated because I couldn't make out, like, she sounds so childish. Like, she sounds so, oh my God. I saw somewhere where someone said Wig likes anyone that likes her, and I can believe that because she actually did. She had a connection with anybody who had a connection with her. She was flirting with the Little Black Book guy. What's his name? Kofi, something like that. He was flirting with her, and she was flirting right back. Ain't nothing wrong with flirting. I'm not saying it is, but I do feel like she likes anyone that likes her. You could tell that when she speaks, she does not listen. She's like waiting to respond every time. I understand. I understand. I understand. I'm like, girl, if you understand, you don't have to keep saying I understand. What? Just shut up. Just shut up. Oh my God. But yeah, she sounded real childish in everything that she said. Sound like she was talking in circles like Thick Ass Frank. Because he also did a video with Thick Ass Frank, and I couldn't even get through 10 minutes of that, because when I tell you Thick Ass Frank talk in circles, like complete circles, I can't understand him. I can't understand Wig either. I just kept trying to imagine the two of them having a conversation together, and they would get nowhere. They would just keep going around and around and around in circles. I don't know how they had a connection at all, because the shit's confusing. Both of them are confusing to the point where I just had to cut them off. Like, listen, I don't understand what you're saying. And it was too hard trying to figure it out, so I cut them off. All right, guys, on to the review. Okay, so we pick up where we left off with Tasia running off stage, having a fit. They didn't really get into it like I thought they were going to get into it, and I'm happy because I don't care about her running off stage, girl. Bye. I do understand that her mom, and I don't even know where I heard that from, that her mom was sick or something in the hospital. I mean, they could have maybe explained that a little bit more to explain why she was having such a reaction to. I mean, yeah, it was ghetto. Yeah, it was a waste of time. We all know this girl said what she said, so why are we playing this game with her? But I don't know if it really warranted running off the stage. Like, we're not even talking to you, girl. Anyway, I want to thank my two ladies who told me that the hostess was from, I think, Extra. And I knew I heard this lady's voice somewhere. I knew I saw her somewhere. She did a really good job. Again, I think I was going to call him Steve. Nephew Tommy, of course, would have gotten a little more into it and gotten on some of the asses a little bit. But she did good. So, all good. And thank you to the ladies who let me know who she was. But anyway, we start off. They say, listen, we're not going to get anywhere with this whole Camille owning up to, she's not going to own up to it. It's fine. And then she says, well, we did have some connections. And Zadia's crazy ass was like, right here, us. And I'm like, the fact that she keeps doing all of this, oh my God, look at us. Oh my God, look at us. We're together. We're together. Makes me think that they're not together. I think both of them, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I think all of them got issues. Everybody that was on this cast, I mean, we all have issues, but they have some serious, serious issues. Like, I want to call all of them a little crazy, but it's not nice. But they all got something going on, because Zadia and the guy that she's with, Mr. Nobody, Mr. Unattractive, oh my God. That's what I'm gonna call him, Mr. Unattractive, because I just really think he is very unattractive, and his attitude makes him look even more unattractive. Um, but yeah, she's so frantic about the fact that they're together, and the host is like, "Okay, yeah, we see y'all. Okay." This fool looked like she was on the verge of saying, "Listen, we're together. Can't you tell we're together? We both have on burgundy. He has on burgundy. I have on burgundy. We have on burgundy together. Look at how we're sitting. I'm all up under his arm. Can you tell that we're together because we're together? We're matching and we're together. Can you tell that we're together because we're together? Girl, y'all probably not together." Yeah, she told the host, "Can we focus on our connection because we did make one?" And the host says, "You and Nime." She says, "Yes, please, thank you." With a big smile on her face. Yeah, this bitch is crazy. So the host is like, "Yeah, we see y'all together and everything. And he obviously has your back. He's been defending you like crazy." And she's like, "Yeah, that's why I chose him." And I'm like, "No, girl, you chose him because you put your finger all in the other guy's face and he did not choose you. He told you he was choosing Alicia, Aisha, whatever her name is." So yeah, and then Naeem, guess that's his name, Mr. Unattractive, speaks up and he says, "And that's why I left the show because she left." Yes, dumbass, because you did not have another connection. Nobody else wanted you. She didn't even want you. She was not going to choose you because in the flashback, which we all remember anyway, she told, what was his name, Corey or whatever, the one that's with Aisha. She told him, "I was going to choose you too." So, yeah, you were not about to be chosen because he is just like the worst, you guys. I think he's the worst one on this cast, attitude wise and aesthetically, like that whole face. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So when he says he left because of her, Sydney says, "You were voted off, actually." And I got my life because Sydney is petty. You guys, I finally figured out who I actually like on this cast. I like Sabrina. I like Sydney. I do like Phil. And Aisha, I like her. It's hard for me to say it, but I do. I like her. I mean, I like the way she stand up for herself and everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I like her just fine. So then we get on Walter's journey, and of course, he ends up with Sabrina. We see the last episode where she does not choose him. He chooses her. She doesn't choose him. He's asked, how'd that land on you? And he's like, "Yeah, I was taken aback because I felt like if we were that cool, we could have had a conversation about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, you wanted a heads up. But obviously, you guys were not as cool as you think because you weren't calling her. Maybe she would have told you if you would have called her. Like you had no interest in this lady. So that's why you didn't know because you didn't reach out to her." All right, and so when Sabrina is asked, she says exactly what I just said. If he was calling me, then he would have known. I wouldn't have to. He's like, "Yeah, you didn't call me and say anything." She's like, "If we were talking every day and you were saying, 'Hey, good morning, what's up, boo, what you doing, what you eating,' then I wouldn't have to, call you and tell you." So that's the whole problem, no communication. So then they asked Wig. She asked Wig, "Did you know that Sabrina was his number one? Or, how'd you feel about that?" And she said, "Yeah, it was always very clear that Sabrina was his number one. I was his number two. And, she was supposed to act accordingly, I guess." She said anytime Sabrina was around them, she felt like she was the other woman, like she was the mistress or something because Sabrina was obviously the number one. And I'm like, neither one of y'all was one or two. He just wanted to stay on the show. So the host asked, "Is there any sort of hope with you two, Sabrina and Walter?" And Sabrina says, "No, I'm too old for Walter." And Walter says, "I don't know where she's getting this from. I never said anything like that to her." And he just said, "I think maybe it's because I want children. She doesn't want any more children." Yeah, she got a beautiful daughter, so cute. But he's like, she doesn't want any more children. And then later on, she says to me that she wouldn't mind having my kid. And he's like, "So I date younger women because there's no doubt that, somebody would give me a baby." And in her interview with, I think it was Little Black Book or either on, because I am subscribed to her now. She does YouTube, and because it's all behind the scenes and I'm so nosy. But in one of her videos, or either the what's name, she said that, yeah, she did say she didn't want to have a baby or any more kids. But if you love the man enough, then, you want to give him what he wants. And so she did kind of soften up to it with Walter. She wouldn't have it just with anybody. She, wouldn't mind having one with Walter. I think it's sad because their connection could have been cute if Walter was sincere. I just really do think that he likes young women too, like Sabrina saying. For whatever reason, he prefers them. But I think they are a beautiful couple. And yeah, she said she really, really did like Walter and wish it could have worked. And me too. They were a beautiful couple, you guys. You gotta admit. So getting ready for break, the host says when we come back, we're going to talk to Courtney, who had her sights set on Cornelius, and she didn't care anything about Camille or anything or something like that. And as she's saying that, they're showing Cornelius with his hand around Crazy, and he's like touching her arm, like it's okay, calm down. And I'm like, she is batshit crazy. Anytime you gotta calm her down, like that is crazy. So when we came back, we talked to Courtney, and it was just very boring. We saw her journey, and it was lackluster. It was nothing. She was very sexual. You know she was. She's young. She wants to party. She wants to do it. That's fine. Yeah, it was very boring. So we're moving on. You guys. So when we come back, we talked to Corey, and they didn't put up there. I don't think they put never before seen. Did they show him cry when he got let go? I don't remember seeing that at all. Like, I don't remember making fun of that at all. Because, oh my God, this fool was crying, crying, crying. And as they showed it, everybody was kind of smirking or whatever. And then when they came off, some of the women were like, is that serious? Because you're an actor. And he's like, no, it's very serious. And he starts crying again. When I tell y'all, it's unreal, the type of crying he was doing. Unreal. So actually, watching it back, Wig was one of the women that was like, was that real? Because you are an actor. And Crazy Camille turns and looks at her and says, it was real. You're not going to discount his tears. And Wig said, oh, well, let me shut up. And I'm like, that's your problem. You're a follower. And you let her lead you. And that is your problem. You guys, what the hell is going on here? Like she asked him what's going on, what was the crying about? And he starts crying again. And he can't speak. And she's like, what's it all about, Corey? What's going on? And the men are like, take your time. Corny Cornelius, take your time. And I'm like, well, what's he taking his time for? Like, what's going on with him? Like, I could not wait for him to get it out. Like, what is this all about? This man says he just wants somebody to look at him the way his mom looks at his dad and so on and so forth. And these people, well, some of them eating it up. Sabrina's like, yeah, I really connected with him after the show. We talk all the time. He's really misunderstood. Is he really? Is he really? Talking about he tries too hard. Oh, I just try too hard and I'm over romantic. No, dude, the problem is you came in trying to talk to everybody, saying the same exact thing, looking like a creep. That's the problem. So all these people buying it. She gets to the girl Courtney, and Courtney's not buying it. Courtney's like, yeah, nah, I'm just not buying it because he was coming off real creepy. So she talked to the women, and the women tell her, look, it's just the whole copy and paste thing. It wasn't cool the way you came off. He apologized, said that was never his intention. They had all this sad music going, and then in the end, the host was like, listen, this is just a microcosm of people. So if these women here are saying it, then everybody, all the other women are probably going to think the same thing. And no woman likes that. And then she just stopped and turned around. And I'm like, dang, she told him basically, get your shit together. And they changed the music to some kind of hip hop type of music. I was like, dude, they're done with you and your tears. Move along. You guys, you know what? I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's creepy. I think the way he come off is just real bad. Oh my God, the way he comes off is just awful. The way he presents himself, and the fact that he is always invading people's space like that. Oh, it would have went down. The way he was just invading the crap out of everyone's space. And speaking of that, let's talk about how Wig was doing her interview with Little Black Book, and she was talking about that date and how weird it was and how uncomfortable she was and how taken aback she was. And I'm like, no, boo boo, because I remember on the date you saying to him, oh, hey, I thought we were gonna keep I thought we were playing horsey or whatever, because his thing was on your backside and you was loving it, and you was like, what are you doing? Let's keep bouncing. And she specifically did that because I was like, girl, are you kidding me right now? So it wasn't that weird to you, ma'am. But he is just creepy all around. He was in everybody's space. So move on, Corey. Move on. So we come back talking to Tasia, and she's saying how God has a sense of humor because when she walked in, she felt like she was not their bottom. She wasn't their top. She was just kind of coasting in the middle. And I'm like, girl, you weren't in the middle because they put you up to go home first. First day. So you were bottom. I'm sorry. And she's like, yeah, she just felt like she was coasting in the middle of everybody and just kind of making it through. So we go through this whole thing of her and Corey, and apparently he was talking to not only Courtney and Wig. Was it Courtney and Wig that I think it was Courtney and Wig. He was talking to Tasia as well, and nobody knew about it. And she's like, was I the third wheel, or was I the third? And I'm just like, girl, he wasn't claiming you. None of them liked her, and that's no shade. Like, she's fine. She's not unattractive. She's a pretty girl. She just comes off away. And the same way she got up and walked around, almost tripped over her dress. And I'm like, girl, I was secondhand embarrassment. I was just like, girl, you should sit down. That's why you got voted off. Like, I don't know how she made it to, what did she make it to, like episode 4, something like that. Like, they wanted her gone first episode. So yeah, I'm glad to see a segment is over. They actually weren't done with to see it yet, and Walter says that, hold up. Tasia was not on the bottom. Oh, Corey was saying how he would have to tell the guys, yeah, Tasia's really cool people. And Walter says, no, you didn't have to tell us that, because we all liked her. We all thought she was really cool people, and that's why she was never on the bottom. And I'm like, what show were they on, and what were they watching? Because Tasia was on the bottom a lot. She was on there at least 3 times. She was on there twice before she got voted off. That's 3 times she was on the bottom. So what are they talking about? And then Phil says to Corey that, he had to defend him to her, and now he's trying to play her. And I was just confused, you guys, because I didn't see where Corey, he couldn't get a word in edgewise to even say, no, I didn't like you. No, we never went out or whatever. They never let him speak. So, and then the host told him that he was problematic or whatever. And I'm like, what did he do in this instance? I was very confused. So y'all help me out. Did Corey deny her or whatever? Because they literally would not let him talk. So I didn't get this part. So now we're back to these two. And as they're showing them, she's on stage being so extra, talking over the video and everything. She's like, ooh, look at that chocolate. Oh, look at my dress. I'm like, can she just shut up? Like, why is she being so extra? Ugh. So they show the video of her tapping Dante on his nodes and everything, and she says that, she apologized to him already. She can see where that would raise some red flags. She's like, I'm sure he went back and told everybody that I was crazy and insane. And I'm like, you think? And then she starts acting so crazy because the host asked her, well, you said you were going to choose Dante, so did you choose Mr. Unattractive because you had to? Like, there was no one else? And she just starts talking, and it's like the way she was just like, no, I was going to choose him anyway because, me and Dante, we had fun or whatever, and he would make me laugh. But then I was like, no, Neem, he makes me laugh too because I'm like, ha, 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 and stuff is so funny. And she starts laughing and turning and looking at him. And when I tell you, everybody is looking at her like, what the hell is going on here? She's crazy. She's crazy. All right, so it ends with them talking to Dante and Aisha. They're still together. They are actually in a relationship. Yay, good for them. The host kept like pressuring this whole thing about marriage or whatever, and I'm like, please do not let him ask this girl to marry him so soon on this show. And he didn't, so I don't know what that was all about, but she was really, really pressing the whole, are you guys gonna get married? Are you gonna get married? I'm like, Jesus, girl. But they're together. They're in a relationship. They like each other. He loves it there. He's not leaving, she said. He said they have ups and downs, but they're good together, so great. All right. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you. I appreciate you. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. You guys, I can't do Ladies Who List. I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore. I fell asleep on it. I kept falling asleep on it. It's just so boring. It just is, you guys. I can't get into it. None of these people are really likable, so sorry. All right. Like, comment, and subscribe. Smooches.